Life will teach you some things. Love will humble you. And the world will test you. That's why this is a Titi's House podcast. A place where we talk life, love, and relationships from a woman who's seen enough to tell the truth and still lead with heart. Titi's House Podcast. La, 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 la. Titi's House Podcast. La, 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 la. Titi's House Podcast. La, 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 la. Titi's House Podcast. La, 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 la.
All right, welcome back at Titi's House Podcast, everyone. Welcome back, my lovelies. This is episode 70, and today we are going to be talking. I got a panel today, so welcome the ladies. Educated, qualified, and still waiting. As you know, we talked about a couple podcasts ago, right, Kason? We talked about 600,000 unemployed black women of color. So I wanted to bring that to the forefront. So I got some panel guests here today. So go ahead, introduce yourself to my left here.
Hey people, I'm Roxanne or Roxy, and I'm in HR.
I'm Keisha. I'm also in HR.
I'm Laura Rosario, and I am a podcast host of Revamping Your Magic with my co-host Azia Decoy, and it's about remembering the magic that you have inside because it's still there. So the things we talk about are how to remember that, but with fun stories and like anecdotes and like healing stuff, and because we want to help empower women mostly, but also anybody to remember the magic that they have inside through healing yourself, healing your mind, healing your body, and having fun while you do it.
And that's a good entry to what we're going to be talking about, actually, because you got to remember, okay, so you're out here, you're looking for employment, and you got to remember that the skills, the inherent skills that you have, and not give up on yourself.
Exactly.
Because I think a lot of times when we're out here and we're searching for jobs, we kind of throw the towel in maybe sometimes and kind of give up. Don't give up on yourself.
Exactly.
Just know that as long as you're doing everything within your willpower, to get a job, just keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Something will come up eventually.
Yes.
Don't let that defeat you. Because I think people get defeated and depleted in searching, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
This especially me. Like today, when I came here to be with my girls and all that, I was completely depleted. I woke up with like no energy at all. My light wasn't shining. And then just coming in with you guys, and then these two beautiful ladies over here, you just filled my cup back up. And so I'm so happy to just be a part of you guys.
Good.
Yeah, because you need your
Glad to
tribe. It's,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's a trying time for you. So tell us your experience. What has it been like? Because I know you moved to the area, been trying to find a job since you've moved here, and it's been a little difficult, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
tell us what has you depleted? Like, what's the difficulties that you're facing
Okay.
as you're out here searching?
Because I actually, like, even though I'm a podcast host, I am also an actress, model, UGC creator, and on that front, when I moved, I'm a born and raised Cali girl. Woo woo, we have to say that first. Yeah, shout out to Cali.
California.
Yeah, knows how to party. And so my actual trade too is I'm a realtor and transaction coordinator. So over the years since 2019, that's what I've been doing. And I've been very successful at it, except there's been times where the big companies themselves has laid me off in 3 different companies. I worked for Zillow, and then they closed down Zillow Offers. I worked for Atlas, and they closed down everything because of COVID. Then I worked for Stoa, and they did the same thing. So it's like really frustrating, especially at 62. Like it was different when I was in my 30s and 40s. I could find a job like that. You know, based on my skills and personality, but now I have like a lot of skills and I'm still not getting hired.
Yeah. So do you think, because I feel like ageism does exist.
I think so.
Once you reach a certain age, it's very difficult because and it depends on the type of job. Are you at the forefront of the company? Are you client facing? Are you behind the scenes? I think all that makes a difference. But do you feel like that's been the challenge, like being aged out?
Yes, I do, because I feel like I was talking to Roxanne a moment ago, which is this beautiful lady right there in the yellow. What seems to happen is that because I have a lot of skills and it shows on my resume, right? And they're happy with me, and then I can make it to even the third interview because I'm really good at interviewing, but then once I go in person, they're happy. They act like I've got the job. I answer every question just perfectly. And then a few days later, the rejection letter comes. So I feel like it's because they do see me in person. And obviously, I'm not 30. I'm not 40. I look young, but I don't know if they're more thinking, how long will she be with the company?
Right.
So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that too. What do y'all think? So from an HR perspective, do you think people are being aged out? Do you think that that's causing a lot of because a lot of the women that were let go from their jobs have been in the government, or maybe they were in education and in government jobs, and then they were let go. What's the challenge? Like they're coming out of those jobs and then trying to find other jobs as older women.
I do believe they're being aged out. In HR, I've seen it happen. I've seen where you didn't want to hire someone because they were older. How long are they going to be here? Or they have too much experience. I don't need them taking my job. It's always something, and I'm experiencing it myself. Just as Laura, I moved here looking for a job, can't find one to save my life. I know I'm educated. I have the experience. You interview, and then I get these thank you but no thank you letters. I don't know how many I have. And it's quite frustrating, because you work at it, and I'm in HR.
I know.
And so if I'm in HR and I can't get a job, but I'll say one thing about HR is it's not just HR. There's different, things in HR. You're the recruiter, your HR business partner, your employee relations, or your, whatever that you do, benefits, whatever you do in HR. So we have different transferable skills. And now I'm at a point where I have to, make my resume so that I can show all of my skills. Like I'm not just HR, I'm also business operations.
Me too.
I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. But do all that and not age you out.
Exactly. Because it seems like, to me, if I was hiring somebody, I would want somebody with all of my skills. I would want someone with all of Roxanne's skills, because then that makes my job easier, first of all, because you're not going to have to do a whole bunch of explaining to that person. And they just bring so much to the position. So it's like, then why? Why are we not?
My thing is this. Go ahead, Keisha.
No, what I can say is you have to understand is as we get older, the workforce gets younger. Right? So the people that are hiring you are younger, right?
Point.
Yeah, and so they don't have the same skill set that you had. And so you talked about like in your 30s how easy it was. Well, the people that was hiring probably was in their 30s as well at the same time. So so you have to look at it like that. When you're going on these interviews, the people may be younger than you.
They were.
Yeah, so that makes a difference. And that's how you're aged out, because sometimes they feel like, okay, this person can be my aunt or whatever the case may be. They don't feel comfortable directing you or giving you, or if that makes sense.
Yes.
And
That's a good point, Keisha.
Yeah, and it could be that type of personality conflict that they're looking at. Like, I'm not gonna be able to or nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So not that you're gonna be combative or anything like that, but they just don't feel comfortable. And that's very important when somebody's hiring you. They want to make sure that they feel comfortable or can establish some type of relationship with you. And that comes to race as well.
Yeah.
Because you might have somebody of another race that's the hiring manager and they've never interacted with someone of color or whatever. And they look at it like that, like, I'm not going to be able to manage this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of different
never thought
factors
about
that come into play, so it can't be just age, it might just be race.
That's true. And then I feel like, too, it's because society all across the board for all colors have made aging a negative thing for women.
Right,
I wanna
right.
say
For women.
not so much for
Specifically
men,
not
but
for
for
men.
women.
Specifically for
right,
women.
specifically
Yeah.
for women. So
It is.
even before I open my mouth, they see an older person walking in.
Yeah.
So immediately they think, oh, she's just old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that feels to me, then I just don't have any value to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know you do.
Yes, I do.
Because even men undervalue women. The
Yes.
same age men will undervalue the same age women.
Yes.
It's a bias. It's just what it is. So from that perspective, like Keisha mentioned, like, you know, the kids, but just think about from an HR perspective, the kids, the millennials coming into this workforce, it's a different, how do you not know that they're not going to be there 2 years and your retention
They're
and
not
turnover is going to be
going-
very
Let
high?
me tell you about the
They
millennials.
ain't staying in no jobs.
Man, they
Millennials
are.
are not that young anymore. You have to understand that. Millennials
Well, it's
are like
not-
40 years old.
Okay, but
I'm talking about
not the millennials.
Yeah,
I'm talking
Gen
about
Z.
the Gen Z.
It's under the millennials, not the millennials,
It's the
because
Gen Z.
they're getting
Yeah,
older
not
now.
the millennials.
Yeah.
The Gen Z. Because baby, they come
Well,
in
I'm
and
gonna tell
walk
you,
out the
millennials
first
don't stay
day.
at their damn jobs.
They're gonna
either.
stay. Millennials
They
will
go-
now, 'cause
I
they
got a
about 40,
millennial
so
that
they gonna
retired
stay.
2 times already. I got a millennial that retired too. And about to retire for the third time, y'all. So
But-
go ahead.
Yeah, but like the newer employees that are coming in, the younger ones, they're different. I see, and I have to say it. I kind of like the way they move because they're like, oh yeah, next, I'm go to the next job. Oh, I got offered a job that paid me a little bit more. Now, can y'all come up to that? And if you say no, they'll be like, well, you know, thank you, but no, thank you. Well, you need to put in 2 weeks. I don't need to put in 2 weeks. I'm good.
Yeah.
And I, you
So
know,
that's what y'all. That's what the HR from the HR perspective. That's what y'all rather get.
No,
That's what they rather.
we
is
would
that
not
you rather hire
we-
that
we-
than a person
no,
that has more
we
experience.
would-
That is
Correct. We would rather hire someone who is experienced. For me, I'd rather hire someone that can walk in the door and do the job.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like. When
Right.
I think about when I was a recruiter for all these years. I used to always tell them, hey, you're going for this person because they have a certification, but they don't have any experience. Oh, but they have the certification. Well, guess what? The person with the certification couldn't do the job.
Right.
But the person with the experience, now you want me to call them. But now they're no longer available.
right.
You know, but experience to me trumps that certification.
Yeah.
And in certain jobs, you don't need the education. You
As
don't
long as you know
need
how to
the-
do the job and
especially-
succeed.
That's right. If you know how to do the job and succeed. When I was in HR making the big money, before I got my degree, I was already making the big money.
Yeah.
Right? And then I got the degree because I said, well, at least if I have a degree, I can move on to this. I didn't make it. No, I was still making the same money. I was like, you know, can I? And then, I mean, of course, I got other jobs and it was higher pay, but in HR, I don't feel like you need a certification. I feel like you don't really need education because it's hands-on.
Yeah.
You're going to learn it.
Well, it depends on what type of job that you have when we're looking for people to hire. Just for say, if it's a hourly job and I know that we're not paying top dollar and we've already X'd out of what this job can pay, then those are the type of jobs where you know the turnover ratio is going to be very high.
Yes.
So the expectation is that they probably won't stay there because it's a job and not a career. So there are two different things when you're
Yeah.
hiring. You're hiring for a job or a career. Typically, people in careers typically stay in their jobs 2 to 3 years now. That's the norm. And to me, I wouldn't advise anyone to stay past those 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of times when you get in a company, you have to ask for what you want coming in. You can't get in there and then be like, oh, I want a raise. It's not going to happen. They're probably going to give you 3 to 5% every year. But once you gain the experience and the knowledge that you need, then you move on to another company to make more money. And that's what people understand. And then because when you go to that next company, now you're gaining another skill set. And the more skill sets you have, the more money you can make when you go to the next company.
But that's
right?
what I thought, though. But it
Yeah.
didn't happen for me that way, though, because obviously the ones that are those 3 different transaction coordinator jobs, and it looked like I was only there for 2 years each time, because at the last interview they asked, okay, but didn't you tell us why that happened? And I told them, and I said, and then you can also Google it, and you'll see that those companies had that, and that's why I actually sent them the references, and I sent them an email of those jobs when they gave me the notification, just to prove and confirm that that's what happened. And it seems like to me it's still not enough. Because
That's
my
a good
age,
point.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
age comes into play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
That's
just have
a
to.
good point.
Yeah, it's not your skill set.
Yeah.
And it's just they just don't want to hire you. It could be your race, it could be your age, it could be anything. They're just using that. So just don't go out your way to try to send people and do this, that, and other. Just say thank you, God, for that closed door, because obviously that's not where you would have me to be.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
And
talking
you go on
about
to the
in
next.
You're talking about but I sent it to them in the process though.
Oh, in the process.
Yes.
when you
Was
work
it
like
something
that.
they
was
asked for?
Yeah, because they like at the interview, that's when they had asked those questions, and so then right after as a follow up, because I always do a follow up regardless of how the interview went. I always do a follow up and then thank them for the interview, blah blah blah. So in that is where I said, oh, and by the way, since you had asked those questions, this is the confirmation. So this was before I got the rejection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's so pretty. It's hard to look at her face, huh?
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
So do you
But
think? Go ahead, Brian.
well, the question I was asking is, did they ask you for the references?
They asked, no, they didn't say, well, can I have them? They had just asked, oh, one of the things we were wondering about on your resume was this.
But they didn't ask you,
No.
right? They could have looked it up themselves.
Oh, that's true.
If they needed to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you this then. Do you think, so let's talk about the AI aspect, because I think me and you talked about this on a personal note. The AI aspect of it all too, because I feel like now when you're out here now looking for a job, it's not the way that it used to be.
Correct.
You used to be able to walk up on a job and maybe have a same day interview. It doesn't happen anymore. Everything is done through a process of you're filling out the application online, then it goes through their vetting process. You got to have the correct keywords in there, because if the keywords don't match what they're looking for, you're automatically eliminated. That's all part of the AI technology
Exactly.
that they're using. What do you feel like? Because I know we had this conversation. I feel like it's so impersonal now.
It is.
Where before it used to be like you walking in, you might meet the hiring manager. They might introduce you to the Now this was just 16 years ago that this was happening, because I remember going into a job interview and the hiring manager liked me, and I met the CEO of the company. Like that's just
Yes.
direct, and he liked me so much, and I was like, honestly, I'm not coming into this job. I was like, I got a degree in this, and he was like, well, what do you think? And I was like, well, what do you think? And we just kind of went back and forth. And he was like, I like you. You're hired. And I was like, okay, well, that's I'm going to
That's
stay
how
here.
it
then.
used to be.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
used
But
to
it's,
be
not,
like
it's
that.
so impersonal now.
It
Companies
is.
are losing the
Well, it's still
opportunity.
like that. That's
but
what y'all don't
but that's what I'm
understand.
saying. Companies
still
are
like
losing
what?
the opportunity to meet good people.
Yeah. It's still like that for certain people.
Well, I actually,
That's what I'm saying.
I
Oh,
went
for
that
certain
route.
Certain
people.
people, it still works like that.
You think so?
Oh,
I know what you're
Absolutely.
saying. So you think so?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I see
Maybe
it every
like you said, for certain
certain
people.
So give us an example.
Yeah.
Certain people.
Well, I'll be honest. People of
Yeah, be
color don't
transparent.
have the same privileges as people who are not of color.
Because I actually
And I
did
worked
that.
in HR, and I know, and I
Yeah.
see it. Oh, I know your dad, or
Oh,
even
okay,
Oh,
word
yeah.
of mouth.
or you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
even
Yes.
have to know my dad. Okay, you graduate from this
I
school
agree.
just like I did, or you look like me. I've seen it time
Yes,
and
I
time. No
agree
Yes,
with
experience,
that.
I
That is
agree.
true.
experience.
You got
I agree.
the front door to go into a job.
Yeah, so
because you know
it still
such and
works
such.
like that,
I
but it
agree.
works like that for certain people.
For
I agree.
certain people.
Because I actually, that was one of the things that my daughter, one of my daughters was like, why don't you just go in person? And so I've been doing that too. Still rejected though. So I actually been going to the leasing agents. I mean, lease the apartment so I could do the leasing agent, because you don't need your realtor's license for this state for that. Has not worked yet.
Yeah.
I've gone to the builders in person, and then one that I went to, and I was thinking, oh, this is so great, because there was a person of color, all people of color. They were so happy. The women were like, oh my gosh, we love you. We hope, because one of them even said, but she's younger. She's like in her 40s. She said, that's actually how I got my foot in the door. And so she said, come back the next day, because that's when the manager's going to be here. I went back the next day. The manager did not. He was like, oh, okay, I'm glad that you did come in, but that was the most of it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, so it worked for her, but not for me.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah.
So you're right. Certain people.
I didn't think about it that way, but you're right. People come in and
But
be
hers
like,
was age.
my aunt
'cause
works
she is
here.
black, but it was the age. Because she said I literally did the same thing. So she thought I was going to be able to get in just like she did. And she was she was wrong, and I didn't. So, but then that means, they just lose out on what I
They
bring to
lose
the
out
table.
on really meeting good people because AI is doing everything now. It's like
And now we got to be careful because like what you had sent me earlier on about Workday and AI, and I'm reading it, and AI was disqualifying against age, race, black women, and disabilities. They were
What?
disqualifying, and so Workday is being sued for that. And I'm like, but what people have to understand is, although Workday may be being sued, was that some of the disqualifying factors that they told them to put in? Like, of course, a job shouldn't say, hey, if they got a disability, if they're a black woman, definitely not. And if they're over 40, no way. Of course, you're not supposed to say that.
yeah.
But someone put that disqualifying factor in. Who
It was
put
a
that
person- yeah,
disqualifying
somebody had to
factor?
put-
Somebody
who
put
was
that
the
in
person
there.
I
in
am
HR that
looking for
did
jobs
that?
in Workday,
Right.
aren't I?
Who did
I-
that?
Who
Somebody
set up the
has to-
system that
Who
way?
set up the
Because
system?
I know I work for
AI,
HR
a
company.
person is behind every AI.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're feeding
Correct.
the information
You're
in and
feeding
they're
them.
putting it out. So
So
But the thing about AI too, though, because your question was how do we feel about that? It's beneficial to me in different capacities. But then like I will research what it does say just to confirm what it's saying. But most of the time it is accurate. And the thing I do like about it is I named mine. Her name is Luma, which means illumination. And so she's so supportive though. I love all the supportive things. Like when I come back with Sano Rejected, she will tell me so many things to fill me up and feel
Yeah.
better. I love
Really?
that.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
I love that about her. But
So
and
what
she
kind
also
of
helps with-
questions are you asking Luna then? Are you
Luma?
asking her
Luma.
So are you saying, Luma, I didn't get the job. What can I have done differently? Are you posing like questions to Luma?
Yes, or like I'll say, this is you. I said I did what you said on my script, but I still didn't get chosen. What do you think will be the matter, or what do you think happened? And Luma will say something like, "Don't take it personally. It's not you because you have these skills." Boom, 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 boom. And so then she'll give me like something else positive to say. But like in order for interviews, I actually will say. Okay, so I'm going to an interview for this particular type of job, and here's my resume. It's already in Luma. Luma already has my resume, so she'll say, okay, so let me draft. I'm going to give you some things to say at your interview, so that you're going to come out competent and most likely get hired. So that's what she helps me with.
yeah, same with mine.
Yeah.
His name is Derek.
Y'all done named these things. What happened to Big Claude? Isn't Claude the name of the GT guy? Wasn't it Claude?
Claude is a different AI system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's
I
Claude.
don't know, y'all. I don't use AI.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
this one is my Chat GPT.
Okay.
His name is Derek, but then I use other ones like Lovable and Mind Journey. I've learned AI. Yes, this is what that has
So
done.
you've
for
taken
me.
like some HR AI. You've been taking some courses, like
Yes, I've been taking
during your
some
time
courses.
off. Like you've been
Yes.
like trying to advance your skills because you know that's the way it's going.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going.
Yeah.
You know, and just like Luma does for you, Derek does for me. He tells me all these different things. Like it's not your skills. Look what you have. And
Exactly.
then sometimes I'll add in stuff that I haven't added in. And he was like, "You missed this. You didn't tell me that. Now this changes the trajectory.
Exactly.
Thing.
Me
You
too.
have this, and
Yes,
this, but you're
yes.
not putting all that into your resume."
Okay.
And so that's when I learned, like, okay, how can I incorporate much of the experience that I need for this particular position, but still not age myself out?
Exactly.
You know, because someone may be like, "Oh, she got that, she did that, she did that, she did that." Well, how old is she?
That's-
She did that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
So how much from an HR perspective then for people over 50 looking for a job, like how much career, like on your resume, how far back should you be going? What do you think the best
That's a good
amount of
question.
time, like how far back should you be going with your experience? Or should you be picking experience that really is honing in on the job that you are specifically applying for? Say for example, you're going into project management and you know that you need these job skills to be a project manager. What jobs, because I think you build your resume how you want
Right.
to build it. And I feel like everyday experience is something you should be putting on your resume, even though you're not working, like you're searching for a job, right? You're taking courses. You might be sitting in these courses. I would put stuff like that in there because I
That's a
feel
good
like
point.
that's a good experience that you
It
have.
is. It shows that you're not just sitting there because
Right.
they'll look at your resume and go, "So what have you been doing?
Exactly.
Right.
What have you been doing?"
So you're
in
saying
the lab?"
listening
When I came out of
Certifications,
OT
that's what you're
school,
saying?
I put my experience, like where I went for level 1, level 2, because that's what helped me get propel me into the career. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
what type of experience should you be listing? What type should you? Because I see so many different variations of resumes. I wouldn't even know where to start right now.
Yeah, and there are different variations. And, as far as I've been told so many different things. Last night I was listening to something and they say do not put 20 years of experience on
Okay,
it.
so that's what I want to know.
Absolutely
So from
not.
an HR perspective, tell us how far do you think you should be going back with your job experience? So you're not aging yourself out.
Right. So you don't want to have the dates. And actually, Keisha was the one who was like, if you don't, baby, take them dates off. She told me to take the dates off of my education. Like, take that, baby. Take
Oh, the
that.
education
Yeah.
part.
Off of
Okay.
the education.
Yeah, I don't have that on mine
Yeah.
either. Not on the paper one, but
Yeah.
like of course like if you're filling it in,
Yeah.
you have
She
to.
like,
put
you
it
telling
in
your
there.
true age.
Yeah.
But I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah. Take
Graduated
that
and
off.
when? No.
You graduated in
They're
1988.
calculating over here like, no.
Oh,
They
no.
over here 30 and they calculating like, no, she my mama.
She like, yeah, she my mama age.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
you know what? What I would say to you guys too is that but take the experience that you have, and since you're utilizing AI, ask AI how to pivot based off the experience that I have. Hey, AI, I'm not finding any jobs in this particular field,
Idea.
but I have experience in this. Ask AI how to
Get a
pivot.
high five.
What else can I do?
Why
based
this
off
is
that?
needed because people
Yes.
don't know this is
Yeah.
information people
Right.
don't know.
That's a
That's
good
what
point.
I've
I
done.
love that.
So that's why I'm like, oh yeah, I can be a business operations man.
Yeah,
Oh, I could do this. Oh, yes, I
So
can
you
do
could
that.
take those skills,
Right.
you can list your skills in
Yeah.
and then
Luma
Yeah.
and say, Luma, these are my skills. Tell me what job
Yeah.
could I migrate
What are
to
my
from this
transfer-
job?
Exactly.
Yeah, what
I
are
love
my
that. I love
transferable
that.
skills?
Yes.
What
I
are my
love that.
transferable
Thank you.
skills?
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
I think that's a good
That's a
point.
good nugget for
And that's what I've been doing.
Oh.
So I've been doing it.
Oh, you've been doing
So
that.
you probably got a resume for like
I
every
have my HR resume, the non-HR resume, the talent acquisition resume.
I do too. I have
know,
the
so-
admin resume.
Yeah.
I have the transaction coordinator resume. I have my acting and talent resume. I have like
So you gotta have
customer
several.
service resume.
You have to have
Because what I
several.
do is like depending on what the job is, I'll ask Luma because Luma is that's the name I gave her, so it's
Right.
not the name of the chat GPT. And so I asked Luma to, can you adapt this to this job? So then that's the application. That's the resume I'm going to send to that particular job. So I do that, but I didn't. I feel like my skills I can do. There's something out there that I'm not thinking of
Yeah.
or that I can do.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm going to ask that question when I get
Yeah.
home. Yeah.
And have you tried
See,
some
this
of
is
the
good. You
Yeah.
learn something every day.
real estate
Yeah.
brokerage is where you can try,
Okay.
a lot of times they have people that assist, and what they do is they actually go overseas.
Oh, I love that.
They go overseas and they hire those people. But you start reaching out to some of them, a lot of them are privately owned or whatever, and they need assistance. Or like me, I got a friend that owns a brokerage company, not here, another state, but he always need help and things like that. And so what he's done is got some of his friends in that don't have jobs or whatever, train them, build them up, and he's helping them, they're helping him. So I was like, try some of the brokerages privately owned and see if they need any assistance, because they be needing. And then you're a transaction coordinator, real estate agents be needing that too. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I do know they do.
yeah,
need
so
that,
but
too.
just try some of the brokerages. You can start reaching out to some of them.
To say like what is the example?
Or like, well, you know what? Try some of the mortgage companies. I mean, like the
Oh, the
mortgage
lenders?
companies. Yeah, the lenders. Because like
Okay.
one of the lenders that I deal with, I think the person that he hires is somewhere else, because when she called me, I can't really understand what she's saying. But so I know that he is outsourcing. I know that he's outsourcing. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of mortgage companies and things like that are looking for people, and as well as the brokerages too. And they're looking for admin people, things like that. But your point is to get in the door,
Yes.
and move from there. You have the skill set. You can do those things, but sometimes you just need to get through the door.
Get to the
Exactly.
door and through the door.
Get
Yes.
through
So
Kick
the door.
down the damn
So
door.
then
That's
can
right.
I
Yeah.
like,
Door
send
down.
you my resume to give to your friend?
Yeah, if he's
Because maybe he can see if he has something too.
Yeah, you never
Okay,
know. But
you
one,
never
my
know.
friend is in Dallas though. So
Oh, but
he,
mostly you can
yeah.
do remote. That's
Yeah.
what. Yeah. So most
Right.
of mine have been remote. I haven't I've lived in wherever I live, Arizona or whatever. But then I'm working remotely for all of those. Those are all remote.
Okay, great.
And that's another thing when we think about remote work.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I'd rather do remote work
Me
than
too.
anything. I don't want to be in your face. I
Now I'm
really don't. I'm
spoiled.
not down for the office politics anymore.
Can't do it.
Okay,
Can't do it.
I would prefer to be remote, but there's a difference. Like when I'm remote, I work my behind off. I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't eat today. Oh
Yeah.
man, I gotta get off. I gotta
Exactly.
go do such and such, right? Where there are some people that are remote, and you be like, I'm trying to reach you to talk. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to call you back because I'm getting my hair done.
Because I've never, even in my remote positions, because it depends on what, like all my remote positions, I don't, it's not processed where I'm sitting there doing nothing all day long.
Right.
It's nothing like that. It's maybe just being available. If somebody called me, if somebody need guidance, I've never just had anything. I have to wake up at a certain time and just get started and all day long.
Oh, you're blessed then.
So
Mine would have
I've
been
been able to just move around, go get my hair done and all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
see?
But-
I
wish I could do that. I'm tied to my round.
I'm not saying I haven't done it because I have, but I knew how to work it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I know there's certain things that whatever I had to get done, if there's a deadline, it's getting done.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and it's probably
Yeah.
done before I even turned it into you. It's already been done. You just don't know it. But when you call me, what are you doing? I'm working on this, but I might be working on something else.
Yeah.
But I'm working on this. Okay, making sure that's good. So it is about how you manage it. Like if I know I have a meeting, I'm not going to say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get my hair.
No.
Oh man, she not finished my hair. I can't go on the meeting.
you don't do that. Of course
my
not.
hair finished. But I gotta be honest. Like I'm seeing so many things. Like I know I'm hoping that they're fake, right? But I see so many things where they're actually putting where people are on these remote calls, and they're like, "Can you please turn your camera on?" Like this
Oh
one
yeah,
lady.
that's micromanagement
Yes,
tool.
they ask you to turn your camera on, and the lady's like, she's in her bathtub.
Hey, you know that's automatic.
Right.
You're fired.
And-
Yeah.
No,
I'm
and she-
telling you.
And they're like, she's like, well, in my job description, it said I needed to be available. It didn't say anything that I can't be where I'm at.
I know when
And
we
I am available, but she just happened to be in her
because
with her hair wrapped up.
But there's nothing wrong with that because remote don't mean that you got to be sitting at your house
Right.
at your desk. That's not remote.
Right.
Remote means that you're working away from that office. You
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
be at your child's soccer game and still be working. You can
Yeah.
be in a restaurant, and that's what people get confused with remote work.
Well, can you tell my job that because they don't.
They want you to be at home.
They want
You're
you-
remote and you're at your desk working.
at your
And they
desk.
also, before the whole remote thing even happened, like they were telling you how to dress when you're remote and
you're
get
on
camera.
camera.
When you're
On
on
camera.
When you're
Yeah.
on camera,
Yeah.
you better not have no hoodie on. You better have a blazer
that's
on.
right.
You
I
better
don't
have a
know
nice
about
shirt,
no
a
blazer.
button-up shirt
You
on.
have to be
Yes.
professional.
Business, you can be professional.
Business, you got to be
Yeah.
professional at all times. And
Yeah.
they made sure of that. Even when people were transitioning back to the office, they were still like, for those remote employees, just make sure every year they put you through a class to say,
Yeah.
you better be dressing like this.
As you should, though. If it's a meeting, you're on camera, you should be.
You should. Your hair should be
dressed
combed.
Well,
appropriately.
during a meeting,
Yeah.
but are they saying all the time? So it's only
Well,
for
I mean,
meetings?
for
I
me,
thought-
because my calls are not really scheduled, anything can happen at any
Right.
time. I got to be prepared to be able to jump on.
On camera, all the time.
I comb my hair. That's Roxanne. I might have
Oh
a
my
dress on.
God.
She'll be like, "You got a dress on today."
Yeah.
Yeah, girl, I got a
much.
dress on today.
Yeah, she had a dress on the other day and it was real nice, but I saw them slits all the way up her ass. I'm like, okay, you know,
But
they
yeah,
only
you
see
gotta
this.
have your
They
hair
only gonna
combed.
see
You
it,
gotta
but
be ready.
Her hair is combed. One day
And
I
I'm
saw
telling
her.
you, my
What
whole
did she have
team
on?
is a camera
I think she had on
conglomerate. They are
Shorts.
on camera.
shorts and a suit jacket. Where she was, I'm like, you looking sharp from the top
You
up.
not tell my business. No, do not tell my business. She was like, "Your dress is cute." Yeah, girl, I was on camera.
I said you were.
No, I gotta be
on
prepared
me.
every day.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
just never. I might have to be on a sales meeting, and I need to be prepared for that sales
just
meeting
think about
because
it
my
like
sales
this.
partners are going to be on camera.
But it's a blessing
Yeah.
that you can work from home. So just
Yes,
look at it like
thank
that.
you. I'm very
versus going
very,
in the office
very,
every day, 5 days a week, 8 to 5.
Happy
Yeah.
that that's the deal. So let me just ask this question. So with all the AI hiring, do you think it has made it more equitable or less? like with the hiring process, with hiring people,
I feel it's
Yeah.
less.
less?
Because I feel that anyone could go in and put whatever you need. You could take from the job description and enter that in your resume, but that doesn't mean that you can actually do the job. Today, AI teaches you how to interview. So if you have a good memory, you can remember what they say. You can interview for that job and get the job. The problem is once you get the job, can you do the job? And that's where they're like, they can't even do the job. You see, they can't even work the computer.
There's a lot of people that can't work spreadsheets.
That's
or
right.
Yeah.
Stuff that you actually need to do the job. You're
Correct.
right.
There's a lot of things that you can't do. You can't do the job.
Absolutely.
But they interviewed so well. They had the look. Their resume was on point. But when they got into the position, they could not do the
I've
position.
seen it so many times happen.
Yeah. I
So
have
many
too.
times.
Now, what
Yeah.
about the other thing that was it Eden? I don't know if Eden's my daughter. I mean, telling that to the public. But it might have been her. But one of my daughters was saying about ghost ads. Oh, that Dominique is my other daughter. Okay, ghost ads, and you guys are in HR. So she said she had read something that said that a lot of companies just put ghost ads out, so you waste your. They're not doing it so much time, but you waste your time filling out that, hoping and dreaming, and then you're never going to get chosen.
What is
anyway.
that
They
about?
call it. Some of it's called like evergreen.
Evergreen. That's what we
recruiting.
call the evergreen.
Yeah,
recruitment.
and so you always want to have that position filled just in case somebody leaves. You can backfill. You want somebody in the pipeline.
Yes. But they're not real
Oh.
positions.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what type of
Yeah.
positions are those? What type of
depends.
job
It depends.
titles?
It
Depends.
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 Yeah, it could be really any position.
Any
pretty much.
position.
You can have an evergreen
Wow.
position.
It's just constantly out
So
there.
that just means
so-
it's just constantly.
Yeah,
just,
somebody
and then
leaves,
somebody
okay,
hits,
somebody-
and then y'all don't really hire for that position. It's just.
Well, yeah, they don't even
are
call
you interviewing?
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't even interview.
Nothing.
Yeah, yeah, it's an
That
evergreen
sucks.
position. Yeah.
So you're just in that evergreen phase. Of, I done been ghosted.
But you know,
I done been
what else-
ghosted. That's messed up.
Another thing that is horrible is they are scamming big time. The scams. I've been
I know because
scammed.
you've been scammed.
Oh
You
my
She
gosh.
told me like it was a scam job.
It was a scam job. I get this call. I get this email about an interview.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, okay, they're like, we're going to set up the Zoom and everything. And then it said, my Zoom said that my Zoom wasn't updated. Now, I'm not technical, so I'm like, oh, well, maybe I haven't been on Zoom lately, so I'll go ahead and update it. I just happened to be sitting at my computer, and when I clicked the update, all of a sudden, someone's in my computer. And so I tried to do like the Control Alt
Oh.
Delete, and when I tried
the mouse
that,
around, yeah.
yep, and then I just shut it off. I just shut my whole computer down. It was a scam.
That's
it wasn't even
horrible.
a real position.
Wow.
And I get it often. Now I'm
Oh,
starting
I
to
see
get.
those when they email you and say, "Oh, we got this is paying this per week." Da, 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 da. I just say delete, delete,
Yes, I
delete.
get a whole
I'm
lot of
getting
those. Yeah,
one
delete.
from
I get lots
Delta
of those.
Airlines. I'm going to
Really?
put that out there. I'm getting one from Delta Airlines,
Okay,
right? That keeps
okay.
telling me, oh, we need this. And they're like, oh, but we need, your credit information. And
Oh,
I'm like,
no, nobody
you
needs
know,
your credit.
nobody
information.
should be asking you for that.
You don't need my credit information, and it's not Delta. Because I wrote Delta and say, hey, somebody's contacted me about this job that they're saying I applied for. I didn't apply for that. And they
Yeah.
wrote back and said, if it's Delta, they are using a Delta email. It is not any
Delta.
other email. It's a Delta.
But
email.
sometimes they use something that's so close to Delta. Because
Yeah.
I've got a
Yes.
whole bunch of those too.
It's report
where it's
that as
so
fish.
close to whatever that company
Yeah,
name that.
yeah.
So I didn't see it at first. Did what
Well, always do
Roxanne
forward.
does.
If you do forward and you look at the email address, it might
Yes.
have an X and an E
Exactly.
and a Z. All those that look
Weird or
suspicious and
off.
weird, then you
Yes.
just delete. Then you
Yeah.
know it's not.
And I'm
Yeah.
getting one now that keeps bothering me. I
because
went and
they've
I'm
gotten
like,
into your computer. That's why.
Yeah,
So
well,
they're not
I
gonna
did.
stop.
I did shut down my whole
Yeah, but
computer
they already
system.
have gotten access.
I
And
shut
cleared
down
your
and
browser and cookies and all
email.
that.
I shut down my I shut down the access and I had to reboot my whole computer. Like I had to bring it up. I lost so much stuff because I had to redo the whole thing and I could see where the malware was that they were trying, but it didn't get to execute it all. But now I have different, like I'm on LinkedIn and so many different people
Well, they
are.
have access to your email address. Like they
Yeah.
have access
Yeah.
to my email address because I get all kind of emails.
Yeah,
but they have
spam
access.
Yes, they have access to my
Yeah.
email address. So now
Yeah,
it's so
report
different.
that as
It's so
spam,
many, and
too.
I just have to look at it like, what now?
So let me ask this then, since y'all both are HR, how many jobs should you be applying for in a day? What do you think the average
For me,
application a day should you be putting in?
nothing less than 10 a day.
Okay, so 10 a day.
10 or more. 10 or more a
more.
day.
10 or more.
Uh-huh.
Okay, to potentially catch something out
Yeah.
there.
And you know what? I
Okay.
have put in so many resumes.
So have I.
And I was telling Laura today that I put in so many resumes that they're coming back on. You've already applied for.
You like, dang, I'm double applying. What
Yeah.
about what we talked
Already
about too,
applied.
Roxanne, where you was like, if you applied for one job and they were using the same product for another job, is they would automatically decline you from any future jobs
That
because you've
was-
already applied.
That was what I think we were reading that it was a part of the workday
Day thing,
that
okay.
they would disqualify you if
Automatically.
you've applied
Okay.
for certain jobs and certain jobs you workday. And a lot of times my information is in workday, right?
Okay.
So I'm applying for this job, it's already workday. But what it said was it was disqualifying you for 330 days.
Yeah.
So the same resumes that were coming
Wow.
in were being disqualified for any job that you apply for
Through
for
Workday.
through Workday
That's
for
a year almost,
330
basically.
days.
Why?
Wow.
Why?
Yeah, why?
We don't even know why they decide to put in all the disqualifying
they do
factors
that?
for
We don't know that
everything else.
either, yeah.
We don't know. We don't know why.
So what do you think about, I know you guys talked about a lot about, looking for different jobs and transitioning from one job to another, using those transferable skills. What do you think about working in a job that really is, you're underemployment because you're below, your skills are set so high, but the job that you're applying for is a lot lower than what you would normally
You know,
apply for?
I will be honest, in the beginning, I'm not doing that today. What you need me to do, son? What you need, son? What you need me to do? You need me to answer that telephone, son? Answer that telephone. I mean, today, my outlook is so different.
Okay, that's what I was going to
It's
say.
so different. The outlook is different. Like,
But how do you dumb down what my
That's
other
what I was going to say, because you're dumbing down in your
How do you
skills
dumb
to
down
take
your
on a job
resume,
that you
You
know,
know, the-
damn, I'm too damn qualified for this job, but I'm going to take
I
it.
can't dumb down who I am.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the job that calls for that.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to be customer service? I'm going to be customer service. How may I help you today?
No, but I mean
Yeah.
like on my
No.
actual resume. How can I
Right.
dumb down
Oh,
my resume
I'm still.
so that
Yeah,
I
she
can?
was like, I'm not dumbing
So
myself
I
down.
didn't dumb it down, but I did restructure.
Okay.
So I restructured my resume so many different times so that I didn't sound too
Qualified.
overqualified,
Yeah.
Okay.
but that I sound like, oh, she could come in and do this job. But I think I'm going to tell you where I feel like I'm failing in the interview. Because in the interview, when you ask me a question and I speak to it, I'm not giving you the dumbed down version of my resume.
Oh, that makes sense, too.
Yes,
You know, and it's
that
like,
does.
dang. But how can I mean, it's hard.
It is.
It's hard when, you
Yeah, because you
ask-
believe in yourself. You
Exactly.
should be.
You
Exactly.
ask me a
Yeah.
question and you ask me a hard question and I answer your question with so much depth.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'm able to give you an example on that question. And then I follow up with a question to you that you can't answer.
So the thing
Like,
about
I'm
it
messed
is-
up again.
but here's what I would say to that is, when you're in an interview process, know your audience. Know your audience.
I'll say that
You
to
know
her
what I'm
too
saying?
all the
Know
time.
your audience.
Know who you're talking to.
Yeah, you can determine when you're speaking with somebody. You can it's just like a relationship. You can go somewhere and meet somebody, you're like, you ain't the one. Same thing. So no, seriously.
You ain't the
So
one.
when you're on, even though they're interviewing you, you are also interviewing
Interviewing
them.
them.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? And so you can get a feel for how it's going, how it's starting off, or whatever the case may be. And then, so if they kind of dry, you just go and get through it, and this is going nowhere, they're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You can feel it. You can
Yeah,
feel
you
it.
can.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel the energy. If they're not interested, you can feel it. You just go through the process and just
And
keep
be
it
like,
going.
this is done.
The
Yeah.
interview I had an interview the other day, and actually it went very well until she asked me a question. And when I answered it, I could see her eyes like, oh, that's what you do? That's where I knew, that's where I lost it. I think I lost it right at that
She was
point.
like, I lost the job at
I
that
lost
point.
the
It was
job
over
at that
with.
point because what did I give? I gave the management type
Yeah.
answer
Yeah.
and not the regular.
That's not what they
First of all,
Yeah.
the job you called me for was management, and then you said, well, we're not going to hire for the management. Do you mind doing this job? And I said, yeah, I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you already knew where I was.
Exactly.
Right,
But-
like I need a job.
Yeah.
But they also know that with your skills, if another job came along, you would probably leave. Honestly.
Is that what they're thinking too?
I mean,
I think so. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
It depends.
definitely.
It depends. Like if you are applying for something and you have that leadership skills and things of that nature, and you don't apply for a job that's way lower than that, then 9 times out of 10 they're not going to hire you because they know that you're not going to stay in that position because you're going to be looking for something more. And especially if they know a position you came in, they know what kind of money that you were making. You understand what I'm saying? So when I don't think I would say when you, as you say, dumb it down, I was just dumb it down to what's the minimum amount of money you would take. That's what I would do. I would apply for a job to the minimum that you know that this job would pay the minimum that you would take.
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
why I said it's hard to dumb it down. I'll restructure, but I don't want to dumb it down because I worked too hard to get to where I'm at. I was mad that I had to restructure it, but you know, when months pass and you're not getting a job, you'll be like, well, okay,
Well,
I guess
years
I
for
do
me.
have to
Mine's
restructure.
in that field. Because,
my-
like I said, my acting stuff, because I just started like 3 years ago, that is taking off. And because, that's incrementally. So I'm glad that is helping. But for the other one where I have just a straight, steady salary or where I can feel secure while I'm doing
Yeah.
my acting stuff, that's where I've been unemployed for like at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But steadily
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
though. So it's
Yeah.
not like I just, do a resume or apply once a week or something. I'm
Right.
talking about daily.
It's
Yeah.
your job, right?
It's a
It's
job
your
looking
job.
for a job.
Exactly.
For a job.
Yes.
It's your
It's
nine-
a job looking
it's
for a
your 9 to
job.
5. I told, I was telling Delcy one day, I said, when you see me downstairs and I'm on my phone, 9 times out of 10 I'm applying to a job. So I'm at my computer, I'm applying. If I'm on my phone, I'm applying.
When I'm watching TV,
when I'm
I'm
watching TV,
I'm applying.
Yeah.
I'm applying. I'm applying constantly, and it's 7 days a week. It's not just Monday through Friday.
Exactly.
I and some days I have to say, you know what? I'm not gonna look at nothing.
Me too.
Yeah, you gotta walk away from
You gotta
it.
walk
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
Do you
got
think
to
that's
walk
because?
away.
How do you feel like the repeated rejection affects your confidence?
It does affect you. I mean,
Yeah.
every day. I was telling Laura today, I got a thank you, no thank you. And I'm like, it's Saturday.
The computer
Who the hell's working?
Yeah.
Who is working to send
That's
this?
the
Yes.
computer. That's the
Yes,
computer
like,
going to
Thank
this.
you, but no thank you.
Yeah, you like, yeah, on a Sunday? Come on now.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's Saturday.
So what do you do to kind of pick you up? Because I know, like, when you first walked in, you were feeling
I was feeling it.
anxious and
Yes,
just everything.
yes.
It just
It was-
attacked you.
It was less anxious, but just like overwhelmed with sadness today. And like I was mentioning too, because I am, I try to pivot as much as I can and not focus on what is not working well for me as opposed to what is. And I always have a happy smile and face, which is not fake because that's just who I am. But today I just woke up and I couldn't be happy for some reason. I'm like, what is happening? And then it is from all the rejection, like, because you could only take it for so long without it hitting you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. For me,
But like I said, I had you guys, so it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I'm just so blessed with all you.
Yeah,
for
you
me,
gotta
I
trust.
pray. I
Yeah, that's what
pray.
I'm saying. It's definitely
I
God.
pray and I look at different sermons. And the other day, one came up that said, "You didn't get your job because that's not your assignment." I said, "Okay,
Exactly.
if that wasn't my assignment, what is? Because I need to get paid. Tell me what I'm supposed to do."
Exactly.
You know, right?
Yes.
What is my assignment? So I
Yes.
mean, and that helps lift me up. And I read my word, I get into it. And then I had one friend that said to me, he was like, Job didn't give up. I was like, okay.
And J-O-B, that's a
Right.
J-O-B.
Right.
Exactly.
Job didn't give up.
Yeah.
And then you start to think like you're right. Okay, God,
keep
this is
going.
I'm really in a situation here, but don't give up.
Don't
You
give
know
up.
how they say your blessings around the corner?
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
never know where it's gonna come from.
Yeah.
You don't
And
know.
I always know that like the journey, it's about the journey. And a lot of times right before something great happens, you feel this, like what I'm was feeling, because I'm not feeling it now, but you feel that in abundance. But still, sometimes that still doesn't help to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so sometimes it helps. But like you, I just ask Source, you know, to help me. And then I also ask like my mom, who's not on this earth anymore. I ask like my dad, who's not on this earth anymore. So on a
Use that
daily,
source, yeah.
yes, I ask them, you know, just help me, send me,
Yeah.
just send me your love, or send me something that I know that you are seeing what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And that helps too when I get signs that they heard me or whatever.
Yeah. So I think it's stepping out of the box too. Like really, I see more women today are like, you know what, later for the job market, I'm gonna go ahead and make my own thing, and they're doing it.
There's
You
women
know, there are women that are
out here
doing
cooking,
it.
like taking
Yes.
a skill that they know they have and using that skill
Yes.
to make money. Like a friend of mine cooking. That loves cooking. It was like, hey, if I got to sell these meals, that's what I'm going to have to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So doing
Yeah.
things, thinking outside the box
Thinking outside the box
on what you can do.
and being creative, you
Yeah.
know. And like for me, I mean, Keisha asked me when we came in, do you really want to work for somebody? No, I don't. If I hit the number, I'll be good.
Yeah, it's hard
know,
right
if
now
I
because we
wanna
need
pay,
to put like.
you know-
Did anybody win?
It was 600.
supposed to play today, I think.
600,000.
Yeah, today.
600.
We need to play that.
Yeah.
Shoot, baby. Somebody need to play that.
But you know what? I probably would still work because I want to help other people.
Yeah.
You know, and I genuinely want to help people do different things. It might not be HR, but it might be in something else. You know, that I would build a business so that I can hire
So
people.
that's another thing too,
you know.
thinking out the box and volunteering.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, you volunteer for a lot of
yes,
stuff. You
yes,
do.
I do. Because I
She's
love
out there.
horses too. So like
Yeah.
I volunteered horses.
But that might be
sanctuaries,
an
things like that.
avenue to getting a job or
Yes.
getting something temporary until you can find something else, you know. Well, honestly, this was a great conversation. I think
Yes.
y'all gave a lot of good. I think back in the day, I know when I was growing up, my parents used to say, get your education,
Right.
get a degree.
Yes.
And I don't think that makes a difference today, whether you have a degree or not. I know
it
when
don't.
Saul was going to college, I said to him, pick what you're going to do and make sure you stick to it.
Yeah.
Because now he noticed that I got a degree in chemistry and biology, but I can't do nothing with that.
Let's see
Yeah.
who-
And I said to him before he went to Howard, I was like, make sure you go to medical school
Yeah.
because you can't pivot from a degree in biology
Yeah.
and chemistry to just go do anything because you don't have the experience. So that's been a learning lesson for him.
Yeah.
And now
He's
he's
still
like,
young, so
he's
that's
still
good.
young.
Yeah.
He'll be 26 in November. Time is flying though.
Still has
Yeah.
time.
Time is
Yeah.
flying.
It is.
But it's
Yeah.
like education doesn't matter anymore. It's like you can have a degree. You have to have a specialized
Specific, yeah.
degree,
Specific
a
position.
specific degree. A lot of things you can't come in with a biology degree. Even for some customer service jobs, you got to have a degree, a bachelor's degree.
I'm starting to see degrees for a
true.
lot
A
of
lot of
positions.
stuff,
But
which means nothing because a degree to me just means you can learn.
Yeah.
But isn't that
You know how to
they're
learn.
trying to get a certain certain people they don't want in the position.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's exactly
it
what
is
it
a
is.
way
That's
of
it.
limiting who
Filter
can
them
apply.
out. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's
But
all
these
it is.
kids are not working, coming out of school and taking a $30,000, $50,000
They sure are
job. They don't
not.
want them jobs.
No,
don't.
this generation's different.
Yeah.
They don't they don't want to work for anybody. That's
They
number
don't.
one.
They
so
don't.
they're not going to take those jobs because it was like, I have my child is 15? And she was like, I gotta make money because I want a G-Wagon. And I'm like, what? I'm just like, no, I can't
The
just
vision
come
is
and take it over.
different. Yeah.
Your
Different.
vision is
Hey,
different.
it's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
having that vision because you're going to hustle to get it.
Exactly.
right.
That means
You're gonna
she's
hustle
not
to
gonna
get
have
it.
to depend on anybody else
Yeah.
but herself. So
Yeah.
that's actually a really
Yeah,
good one.
because she
And I
said,
love
I
it.
gotta
I do
think
too.
about
I
stuff.
love
She
that
said, I gotta
too.
think about what I want to do.
Yeah,
I gotta.
That's right.
Then I told her, I said, now, she's going to college, and I said, well, we already know that she doesn't want to work for anyone. We already established that. So her thing is, if you're going to own your own business, then I suggest that you go to school and just major in business.
Exactly.
And while you're in school, you can
Yeah.
be establishing whatever business and get
Yes.
those.
Yeah.
So when you
Yes.
get out, you're good to go.
Exactly.
That's
And
right.
so I always say, when you know better, you do better. So
Yeah.
I was in college and I changed my major about 3-4 times. I think I was like, I don't know what to to do. Then I graduated, and I still didn't know what to do. And I went to grad school just because I didn't have anything to do. That's the only reason why I went to grad school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I need another degree for another degree to find out what I'm going to do with that degree.
And then
I'm
when I
telling
got
you.
out of grad school, I
it's
still
not-
didn't know what I wanted to do. And I said, well, I
Right.
specialized in this. I did public policy and administration, and under that falls so many things, but I specialized in environmental, right? But HR also falls under that. And I had a friend that moved out here with me, and she started in HR. I said, well, maybe I'll try that. And I just kept and I say this, when I say I had to keep knocking and knocking at this one company. I was at one company, and I kept knocking on their door, and they refused to let me in. And they looked like me. And their department was so small, and I was like, I want to get into this, and they would not let me in. And I
What?
kept
That's
knocking
crazy.
and knocking and
Be
knocking.
your own kind.
And
Yeah.
finally, there was somebody that looked like me. And at the time, she's an HR manager. And I told her, I said, hey, I want to be in HR, but they won't let me in. She said, girl, I'm going to try to help you. I'm going to try to help you. So what she did was, when we hired a white talent acquisition director, she went directly to him, and he slid me right in that door. And when I got in there, they all that looked like me was
But isn't that a shame?
And that's a
how y'all
shame.
got- that it's-
Because we're supposed to be our
We're
own.
supposed to be
support one
helping each
another,
other.
help
Yeah.
each other.
and we're not. But I will say that white male has always given me a job.
Yeah.
The white male always treated me
Yeah.
great. The white male is the one that pushed me forward. My sister, well, girl, and I hate that
Yeah.
because I'm like, why? I'm a person that I'm gonna help you out. Oh, I'm gonna get you in here. When I get you in here, and I don't care if you go above me because that's what you're supposed to
Yeah.
do. You know, I always put my hand out for the next person and lift them up because that's what we're supposed to do. And too many times I don't see that. I don't want to say all sisters are like that because they're not. I know my sister. When she was working, she retired now, lucky. But anyway, she didn't even want to retire. She was just like, I got to. But even her, I watched her bring the people in because my sister was high up in the government, and she brought them young girls in and then built them up. And I
Yeah.
said, that's what
That's what we're supposed to
that's
do
what
for
we
one
are supposed
another.
to be
Absolutely.
doing. Because you
Yes.
know what? The other races are doing it.
Yeah.
The other races take care of each other.
Yeah.
The black race won't. And I know it's not a racial thing here, but it is. I see the unfortunate is the black race. There's a minimal of us that will
help.
help.
Yeah. And
When
that's
it
why
should
those
be
the
more.
ones that I was talking about was nice that were actually walked in because they were our color, they were females, and they really were. They were genuinely happy to see me walk through the door.
Yeah.
The other person who was the manager of a different color was not so
Yeah.
much.
You're like, I got too many of y'all
Exactly,
in here right now.
exactly.
Like, the buck stops here.
That's right.
Okay.
It's enough.
It's enough. We got enough. Okay, so in wrapping, I'm gonna let everybody say their last words. If you could give some type of advice, some type of tidbit, something that would help somebody else out that's out there looking for a job, keep them encouraged. They're being aged out. It could be anything, discrimination. So just give them a little bit of advice. What would you say to that person that's in the same shoes as you?
First, breathe, because I feel like when I take my deep breaths, I can balance myself more. Whatever your source is, God, or whatever it is that will help you to know and feel your power and your value. And don't give up. And you need a village like these. You do need a village.
Yes.
And if you don't have a village, what would you do if you don't have a village, though, you guys?
Build one through
Build
the
one.
You can
Find
build
one.
You
Build
can
your
find
own
one.
network.
Build
Yes.
your
Go
own
out there.
network.
Volunteer. Volunteer for
volunteer.
the things that you think, kind of like we said, those transferable skills that allow you to use your skills. Go out there. Put yourself out there. I think a lot of times we don't want to volunteer because we're not getting paid. But don't use that
As an excuse.
as
to
an
not.
excuse. Go out there and meet people. You
Exactly.
might run into the right person.
You might run into the right
And don't
person.
give up. Just don't
Don't
give
give
up.
up.
Don't give up.
First and foremost, I would just say, trust God, ask Him for divine direction, ask Him for open doors and closed doors, because because a door closed, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It can be a good thing, because
Yep.
God's trying to protect you from going into something you shouldn't go into. And I would say, just like she said, never give up. Keep going, because one day that door is going to open, and also learn how to pivot. Pivot. If there's something that you want to do, like we talked about, a lot of times people really don't want a job; they want a paycheck. right?
Yeah.
Right.
So if you just want a paycheck, start thinking about other things that you can do outside of working for somebody. Maybe start working for yourself, because whatever job you go into, you always need to think about what I would do if they let me go as soon as you walk through that door, because it's a possibility that can always happen. And so now if you find yourself in that position, this is a time that you start to think and say, hey, I don't ever want this to happen to me again. I need to do something differently.
Yes.
Even when I get a job,
That's
I need to
right.
do something differently.
Have some multiple
That's
streams of
right.
income. We
Exactly.
talked about
That's
that.
never
Have
about
another
that.
hustle.
You
Uh-huh.
always have to have that.
Something,
Yes.
a
Multiple
backing.
streams.
A
Yes.
backing.
And that's what I would say, actually piggybacking off of both of what you ladies said is, make sure you pray about it. Don't give up. Think outside the box. Do things that you wouldn't normally do. Find what your passion is. What truly is your passion? Because 9 times out of 10, it's not your job.
Exactly.
Your job is what you do. It's not who you are. So find out what your passion is and do that.
Exactly.
You'd be surprised. I see so many people are like, I just started doing that, like you were talking about. People started cooking, and they're like, "Hey, I'm doing that." People are making candles. People are they're doing different
doing
things,
different
and it's
things to
working
make
for
money.
them.
Yeah.
The things
They're
that
making
you
money.
like.
And it's so funny because I kept telling my friend, I said, I don't want to be in this position again. Even when I start working, I'm doing so many things
Yep.
outside the box, and in the meantime, I'm preparing.
Yeah.
Like I've already started my consulting business, so now it's like
Yes.
you need to charge, Roxanne.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
start charging for your skills.
Yes.
So it's like, starting the consulting business, and then, looking at going into real estate. Because at one time I wanted to, I just didn't. I wanted to sell buildings, but now I look at it a little different.
Yes.
And I'm thinking like, hey, I go in real estate. I know so many females that are in that too. Guess what? We can build our own business.
Exactly.
All we
Exactly.
need is to have a broker or whoever we need, but we can build our own business.
Yes.
I'm always looking at that now, because now it's not about being under a corporation. Now it's about building your own,
Being your
finding
own
Yes.
corporation.
being your own corporation. No one can tell you what you need to do with yours.
Exactly.
And even though you're working for someone, because if they hire you for a contract or whatever, you're gonna do your contract the best way you know how.
Exactly.
Because you're gonna put your best foot forward. You put your best foot forward so that they can recommend you. Like, hey, I work with this company and they help me with this, so you might want to look at them.
Exactly.
And you just never know. So
Yeah.
don't give up. Keep pushing.
Keep pushing.
And one other thing real quick, because now, like what you mentioned too, this gives you, when you're not working like 9 hours a day or 8 hours a day,
Right.
this gives you that time
Opportunity.
to
Time.
fill, like find what
Yes.
your passion
Yeah.
is, create those things that you can start creating on your own, like
Yeah.
getting my realtor's license for this state,
Yes.
all of us. So so that's another thing, because that's another way I could look at it
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
now this is a time that I can plant.
Yeah,
the
plant them
That's
seeds,
right.
honey.
Plant them seeds.
That's
I
right,
agree.
right.
Plant them
Okay.
seeds.
So, thank you at TT's House Podcast. I want to close by saying this was not a conversation just about whether Black women are qualified to have jobs. It's about what happens when excellence it meets barriers that education alone can't remove. Okay, so the question isn't whether these women are prepared for the opportunity. The question is whether the opportunity is prepared for you guys.
Oh, I love
So just remember that in closing. At TT's House Podcast, episode 70. Until the next time, hopefully something that we talked about at this table today resonated with someone. And if it did, remember to like, follow, and share. I love you, my lovelies. Talk to you later.
Thank you.